Alafia, Alafia. This is Ken Obasi Leslie. Now, this is my, the second part of talking about music in my life. And in my life, there's been a lot of music. Although, I'll be honest with you, I have never really been about a lot of discipline in terms of my playing. Because one of the things that I've always been into basically is called backdoor proficiency, which is just the more you play, the better you get. And I guess the discipline came from just playing, just getting together and jam and create, improvise. So another trumpet player that was very important in my life, and I guess it was back in the 60s and around there, was Clark Terry. And they also called him Mumbles, but it was always something about how he played. And sometimes when I would rehearse and practice, I would try to emulate some of the sounds that he made on the trumpet. Mumbles got his name from a lot of times mumbling, when he would sing and when he would scat or whatever you want to call it. So, it's just that he just had a kind of a different style in terms of his approach. Now, back then, again, I would say around 60s and 70s or whatnot, I was listening to a lot of kind of what you call spiritual jazz. Pharoah Sanders, Yusef Lateef, Herbie Hancock. It was kind of and I sort of was moving into what you might say a jazz fusion kind of thing, music became more than just playing a lot of notes. It became how you would play from the inside, from the spirit. And of course, John Coltrane, we were trying to think of some other one, Albert Ayler, Ornette Coleman. And I was sort of moving into what you might say a space of free jazz in terms of listening, although I was listening to a lot of other things. And normally this would be within my domain or whatnot. But I was still playing with local bands. We were still rehearsing. We were still, I was still hooking up with I don't remember, and going back, a guitar player named Whitey. Uh, it was a situation where we would, kind of do what you might say a little jazz fusion here and there, but for the most part, I was still just doing R&B, working with different cats in the community, and and building my chops or whatnot. As I was saying, there was a neighborhood group called the Italians. There was lots of other groups, and around that time, it was a beautiful thing that there was a situation that was at UC, University of Cincinnati, called the Jazz Jamboree, and a lot of the musicians around the city used to really look forward to participating in the Jazz Jamboree. At they would do it once a year, and it was a way that like different musicians could, or different groups, would be able to show off their talent, and from time to time, and I can't remember the name of the bands. I think it was called the Jazz Advocates or whatever, a band that I had put together for the Jazz Jamboree. But it was really a good time. It was really a good time. But during that time, those were my formative years in terms of music. Around that time, I wasn't doing a lot of artwork or a lot of art. I was still, I'm still drawing here and there, but predominantly it was music, and it was the trumpet. It was just practicing and playing at different places and things of that nature. So, we're talking around the 60s and the 70s or whatnot, and I was still in the 60s. I was still in school, playing in the school band. I was at Withrow, and playing in the school band there, and I also played football, and somehow we made it work. And then there was a lot of association with going over to King's Records, and checking out the situation around that, that was happening around King's Records. And around that time, there was bands that were forming out of, around King's Records and different things of that nature. I may not be getting the timeline completely correct, but there were a lot of bands in the community that was playing, what you might say, that kind of energy and the rhythm that was produced by James Brown. So we had, all the musicians, everybody that played in the community could play knew was on the one. Was on the one. Everything was about being on the one. So, but yeah, those were very formative years. There were different clubs that were open, you know, Mr. Kelly's, the Viking, the Shara, Vets Inn, you know, just to name a few. Soul Lounge was another place, you know. And so basically, we were going back and forth, you know, kind of like hooking up and playing at different places, and you know, and as I was saying, there was a lot of things, a lot of clubs, a lot of situations for musicians to play at that time. So you know, it really was a good time. It was a good time for learning and a good time for just getting out, you know, just you know, working your thing and building your chops and everything, you know. So that you know, around that area was the chop building era, you know. And as I had said before, you know, there was Billy Talbert. There was a group called Sun. There was a group called 24 Karat Black. There was and then also, you know, my cousin Michael Leslie. He was a bass player, and he was, you know, he was part of the community as well, you know, and he progressed to be a very, very, very good bass player. And I think he also played trumpet or whatever, you know. It's just that, but, you know, it was all kind of cats out there, you know. We was just doing, it was the energy, and nobody was worried about getting paid a lot of money, because we didn't get paid a lot of money or whatnot, you know. We just really enjoyed playing music, you know. I mean, you know, just to name a few, the guitar player I remember playing with was his name was Clarence, you know. They called him Magoo, you know. You know, there was, and I'm gonna, my next video, I'm gonna like research some names so I can come up with some names and different things in nature, because like sometimes right off the top of my head or whatnot, because like I said, you know, what I'm doing is I'm uploading memories, you know, of you know, of my formative years in playing music, you know. And so in hopes to be able to do a memoir, do a book, you know, and which would, you know, kind of get deeper into my influences. But, you know, but around that time, yes, I was being introduced to, you know, the spiritual side of music, you know, Pharoah Sanders and John Coltrane as well, but still playing R&B, which was, you know, pretty dominant in terms of most of the musicians, you know, in the community. So I'm not gonna be long on this part, but I will be coming back to you with more information and more names in terms of musicians that were in the community. So until next time, Odabo.